Welcome to Flavor Square. Chef Joab, George behind the camera, and we're making some good stuff tonight. We're going with what we're going, George?
I don't know, Austin Powers. You told me.
Austin Powers. All right. We're going with shredded beef pasta and campanile. We're using campanile pasta, and the beef that we're cooking today. That the whole dish is a winter thing. So Jon Snow from Game of Thrones called me. He said winter's coming, so I have to get ready. All right. So that's what we started with. So we're gonna make a winter dish. We're going with beef. See, that's the chuck.
That's
part of it.
Western beef prime.
Western beef. Whoa. Prime. All right, George.
We didn't skimp out. We didn't get the choice from Western beef.
We did. When you're making this type of dish, you don't have to go with anything expensive.
Yeah, you're cooking it down. It's gonna break down, so it's gonna be smooth.
Yeah,
soft and
you cooking it slow. You know, on the sauce that we do and everything. So it breaks down and it just pulls apart. So you don't have to go and get ribeye to make this pasta and make the whole. It's close to ossobuco, but obviously ossobuco is with veal, but it's something close to that. So you don't need that, again, you don't need the best meat to go with it. Anyway, so we're gonna start. Let me give you guys the quick recipe, okay? You guys will need one Spanish onion, rough cut. Same thing with the carrot. One carrot, make sure you guys cut it this style, basically cut it in half, then the half cut it again and chop it. Garlic, very important. On the garlic, you want a lot of garlic on this. So you basically have over here 10 garlic cloves, and then you rough chop it. 2 celery stalks, that's what you have over here. You have 2 sprigs of rosemary, which I bent it, and then on the bottom you have thyme, 1 sprig of thyme. And basically what I did, a small sprig, 2 to 3, and take the leaves off. So later on, when you guys are doing your pasta, when you finish the whole thing, you guys not chewing and you have that stem. So make sure you guys take that out later on. And I have half a bunch of parsley, 7 ounces of tomato paste. It's a heavy dish, so you need that tomato paste. You need wine, Cabernet, red wine, cooking wine. You don't have to go with something expensive.
I mean, we used a Petrus.
What we use?
Petrus.
Petrus. Okay. Again, the beef you need 2 to 3 pounds. Up to you if you want to eat a lot of beef with pasta like George likes it. You can go ahead. Over here you don't have 2 to 3 pounds. So basically, what I did, I cooked some of that beef earlier. I didn't cook it. I sear it. You want to give it that flavor. When you're doing this type of dish, you want to sear the beef so you could get a lot of flavor out, to make that savory dish. So we're gonna start. So heat up your pan, and what you'll do, George, come closer so they can see what we're going with. Canola oil. You can see it's already smoking. And then what you do with the beef, again, sear it. That's what you want to do. Make sure you sear that beef and give it color. Now, when you're doing that, you don't want to put all the beef, together, a lot of it, because it won't get any color. So you're basically steaming the beef. So basically, you want to do, if you can do a little bit at a time, then do that. So give it some color, like we did over here. You can see it, and it's still raw. That's raw. It's just seared outside.
Slice one open so they can see it.
What was that?
Once you slice one open.
Sure, let's do that.
With your Yamazaki Kuzuki knife.
You can see it right there. Now, it's the type of cut that it is rough, so you have to cook it thoroughly. All right, George? Look, come over here. Again, you just want to give it color. And in the same pot that you're cooking the meat, that's where you're gonna go with your aromatics. You're gonna add all your vegetables over here. You're gonna cook all of them in there. Okay, so you guys have the idea of what you guys have to do here. So I'm gonna take this out. Okay. Again, this is what you guys want, some color. Okay. Let me put it over here. And again, on the same pot, you're gonna add your onions, carrots, garlic. Give me a second. Make sure you add all the garlic, celery, rosemary and thyme. Everything is going there at once. Parsley. Okay. So once you do that, you cook it. Give it some love, you know. Let it do its thing. Give it some love. And get that going. Okay. Let me add a little bit more of oil.
Nah, it really smells really good.
Yeah. Once you start with that. And again, you want to give it a little love. Get some color there. Cook your vegetables. You're not gonna cook all the way through, okay? Because it's basically like braising. When you're braising, you're not gonna cook everything at once just for the fact that it's going, you know, it's gonna cook slowly. So you don't need to go crazy, you know, right away cooking everything. Make sure that, you know, everything is cooking thoroughly. Show some love there. Now, I wish you guys were here and you guys can smell that. Any questions from Facebook? I don't know.
Well, let's not lie. Let's tell the truth.
What?
We're all quiet because we already pre-made this, and we ate about 3 bowls apiece. I can hardly move right now.
Oh, yeah? I didn't eat that, FYI.
He didn't. He's too bougie for this. He had to have shrimp.
Yeah, I ate shrimp and tostones today. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and keep going, okay guys? I want you guys to have the idea of exactly how to do this. Again, you want to give this some color and sweat it. So I'm gonna keep going, okay? So now I'm going to add the tomato paste. And with the tomato paste, that's something that you need to cook. Some people just add the tomato paste, don't cook it, and they go and add the wine and whatnot, and it tastes funny. So, you know, when you do this, you have to cook the tomato paste 2 to 3 minutes. Make sure you stir that. And man, that smells good. Beautiful. You have to stir it. Make sure it's all over the place in there. Okay? Now, while that's cooking, I want to show you guys something real quick. Graphics Unlimited. Am I correct? I said it right this time because last time I messed up. Millie, thank you for the hats. I like them. The only thing I told George is that don't hide the stuff from me next time. You know, he had it on a corner far away, and you know, it's not my fault, it's George's fault. Okay, going back to this. Cook this, and you can see on the bottom when it starts to go brown. It's okay, just keep going and mix that. Make sure you guys mix that good. Now, when you guys do this at home, you don't have to make it with pasta. You guys can do roasted vegetables. Keep them on the side, so when you guys have your beef already done, you could put that on top of it. You could do rice, put that on top of it. Huh?
Orzo.
Orzo, you could do orzo, you could do risotto, you could do a whole bunch of stuff. So this thing, this beef, you can do a whole bunch of stuff with it. So let's go back in here. So this is what you guys want.
You can cook this. You can cook this with the meat separately.
Yes.
So no pasta, no starches, and you can make, like, you know, white rice and just put it on top of the white rice. You could do that. You could
put some avocado on white rice on the side on that. It'll be something very good. Okay, so I'm going with the wine. That's called deglazing for those that who don't know. I don't know if George knows that. He's always making up names. So you deglaze, and now you have to let the wine cook. Why?
Want the alcohol to
You
evaporate.
need the alcohol to burn, to cook. You need to cook that alcohol.
It's gonna evaporate. You're gonna evaporate all the harshness from the alcohol.
If you don't cook the alcohol, you could taste the wine later on your finished product. You could taste the alcohol. So basically, pasta, beef, and a whole bunch of wine uncooked taste all the alcohol, and it's not cool. It's not good. So you have to make sure you cook that. Once it's fully cooked, you're good to go with that. Okay. And again, I wish you guys were here so you guys can smell this. It smells very good. The aroma from it is very good. Okay, so cook that. Now, when you guys cook this type of beef, again, I told you guys not to go with anything crazy, ribeye or anything like that. Go with the, not cheap stuff, but the inexpensive stuff, basically. Don't go.
Yeah, I mean, you're cooking it for long enough time with so many fragrances that you're breaking it down. I mean, it's going to be like butter. I don't care what type of meat you put in here. I don't care how tough that meat is.
Yeah, it's going to break down.
After this cooks down, it's just going to be melting in your mouth.
It's going to break down. Man, the aroma on this is...
So this is actually a good dish to make with mutton.
With what?
Mutton.
Mutton?
Yeah, mutton.
Yeah.
You don't know what mutton is?
I do know.
Well, mutton is when you have like back
in Vietnam.
Say correct me if I'm wrong, but
back in Vietnam,
I can't remember if I keep mixing up goat and lamb. So it's either one of the two. When they get too old, they just turn into mutton.
Back in Vietnam, Chef George here, he used to do a lot of stuff over there. So the other day he was telling me of the cobra that he caught, and he kept it as a pet for like 2 years, and then he cooked it.
Well,
He was hungry.
It was for medicinal purposes. We would bleed out the poison and drink it.
Yeah. Okay, so this is there. So what you do now? The beef. All the beef goes in there. Okay. Stir it. Okay. Man, and I regret being not a vegetarian, but I regret not eating meats right now. I'm only eating fish and whatnot, but this thing, man, makes you think twice about going back to eating beef. So, when you guys have this, when you have your meat in there already, add water. I'm adding water about 3 to 4 quarts. So it's basically up to here. And then, when you add the water, you let it simmer. And you go for, God knows how long, like 3, 4, 5 hours. No, I'm lying to you. Could be from 2 hours, 2 to 2.5 hours. And this is something that you guys can do on the crock pot, which we have over here. Okay, you just add your vegetables. The only thing that I suggest is that you guys cook the tomato paste before you add it to the crock pot. You can add your vegetables. Same thing with the wine. Cook the wine, reduce it, and add it to it.
You can do exactly what we're doing here, and then just drop it into the crock pot and continue the cooking process.
You can do that. Like I said, if you don't want to sear the meats, you can go ahead and add it to the crock pot as well. So now I'm going to add the water. In this case in particular, I'm using water. You could use vegetable stock. You could use chicken stock if you want. Okay? You don't have to use water, but if you guys don't want to make any type of stock, you have options. Water. Okay, so that's there. So you bring this to a simmer, leave it alone, let it cook. A pinch of salt, 1 or 2, Georgia style, and crack some pepper. And again, you let it cook, you bring it to a boil, reduce it, lower the heat, keep it on a simmer, and once that cooks for about 2.5 hours, what you do is put some gloves on and you shred it. It will pull apart. So you just shred it and once you shred it, it goes back to the sauce. It's that easy. When it goes back to the sauce, you cook it for a little bit more, 10-20 minutes. And then you can add your pasta. If you want to cook your pasta on that meat, what you do, when you see the meat is almost there, add the pasta so you have 10 minutes of cooking time for that pasta. It will take that long with the meat that you have inside. So you guys have the idea of exactly how to do this. It's something easy, it's nothing crazy. Okay, so what I did with the pasta, I cooked my pasta to al dente and let it cool off on the refrigerator. So what I'm gonna do now, as you guys saw, I think George showed you.
No, I didn't.
You show them? Okay, so this is what I did. I put it on the crock pot to keep it hot, keep it, warm. And this is the end result after you cook it for 2.5
It's
hours.
almost like a beef gumbo.
Look at that. All that beef, it pulls apart, like I told you guys. That's basically what you guys, the end result of it. So now, when you do that, remember, you don't add enough salt. You have to season again. So make sure you guys you have to go heavy on this because you have a lot of liquid, a lot of beef, and you have a lot of vegetables. So you have to season that, okay? So salt and pepper. And I'm not trying to rush. The thing is that I have to, show you guys exactly how to do this and for you guys to enjoy it at home. And like I said, remember, when you add the rosemary to it, you have to remove the stems. You have to remove the stems from the rosemary if you add the thyme with the whole stem, with the stems and everything. Later on, about an hour after, just take out the stems so that way when you guys plate, you guys don't put that on the plate, okay? And that's basically it. This is your end result on the beef. So what you do,
Now, if they didn't cook the pasta already, can they throw the pasta in here?
yes,
Raw?
like I
just
said
cook it
earlier,
through,
if you
right?
guys want, you can add the pasta here.
So when you add the pasta in here, you see how there is a lot of
There's no
liquid in
pasta
here?
there now.
No, there's not. But if you add the pasta raw right in here, give it a couple of minutes, and it'll reduce and thicken
Yes,
the sauce.
it'll thicken. You can cook, put the camera back up, George, so I can tell them. The pasta, if you are making this recipe on a crock pot, it won't take 10 minutes, it will take longer, so be aware of that. It might take 15 to 20 minutes. It's a slow cooker. So once you add your pasta, give it time, it'll thicken up, like George said, and you can go through that. If you guys don't want to do that, this is what I did. I pre-cooked my pasta to al dente. Okay, so I'm using Campanelle pasta, which is a very good pasta.
Let me see. Let me make sure it's al dente. Yeah, before.
So again, I pre-cooked the pasta, and this is the pasta that's going there. But I'm not gonna do that right now. What I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna grab a saute pan and show you on the saute pan. Once you add your pasta, you can see how this, which is already a thick sauce, but it'll thicken more once you do it on the saute pan. Okay, so here you can see it bubbling already. You want to, like I said, you want to bring it to a boil. Once you bring it to a boil, reduce the temperature on the stove, on the stove top, whatever you guys using, and leave it simmering. So at this point, what I'm going to do, I'm going to take this off so I can go ahead and keep showing you guys. Remember, this is what you guys want to see.
Achieve.
Thank you, George. This is what you want to achieve. Once you guys have this, salt, pepper, taste. Don't season don't season to taste right away, because remember, you're gonna reduce that. If you season to taste, once you reduce it, it's gonna be salty. So make sure you don't do that. Okay. So I'm gonna remove this from here now. And like I said, I'm gonna use a saute pan. I'm gonna add some of that sauce that we did, some of that shredded beef.
So this is like if you're cooking it basically in a restaurant, this is how you want to do it.
This is how you do it on a restaurant.
You don't want to cook it all together in one shot, because if you're keeping it warm in a matter of, I don't know, an hour, all that pasta is going to be garbage.
30
You'd
minutes,
have,
that pasta
yeah,
is
you'd
already
have
missing
no
out.
more sauce left. It's going to be dry. So you basically make everything separate. Now everything's cooked fresh. You keep everything separate, and then you combine it like this.
Okay, so
Hey guys,
yeah.
Yes.
I don't know why, but it's like lagging.
Let me hurry up, because after an amount of time, look how hot that fast that thing cooked. How it heat up. So I'm adding some of that beef. I'm gonna add some of that liquid. And again, you can use this with vegetables. So the pasta, you decide what amount of pasta you want to do. Okay? I'm not gonna tell you. You know you can do whatever you want with the pasta. Again, if you're gonna do it the way I did it, just pre-cook it, pre-cook it, and you go from there. Okay, so I'm gonna season again. Little bit of salt, maybe one more pinch. Pepper. And heat up that pasta. You have to heat it up. You have to finish cooking that pasta. It was al dente, and now I'm gonna try to keep it al dente as I warm it up. So you can see the sauce already with the pasta. Once you add that pasta in there,
Pasta start
you see it has a
absorbing
lot
all
of
the
starch, so it's gonna thicken up. So this is what you want. And it smells good. Make sure you mix that real good. ¿Qué pasó?
liquid. I like how she's reading the questions and just
She don't
laughing.
share.
Let's
She's
figure out
laughing
our
over
own,
there.
and we got nothing.
We have nothing. We're like, what's going on? So.
I said that you're doing King Kong into the salt.
Well, I have little hands, you know. Who was that? ISIS?
Isaac.
Isaac, what's up, Isaac?
Did you just say ISIS?
I know someone. I have a family member named ISIS.
Oh,
Yes, ISIS. So yeah, this is what you guys want.
I'm a
And
proud
again-
American. I don't want nothing ISIS.
This guy, I swear. This guy. Yeah, get out of here. Get out of here.
Okay.
Okay, so that's that. That's done. And again, look at this. You can see the sauce on the bottom.
So basically, look how much liquid is left, and the
Because
liquid is already thicker.
the pasta, it absorbs all that sauce.
And
That's
releases-
basically what you want.
and releases starch, and that's what's thickening everything up.
So I'm gonna go ahead and plate it. Man, this smells so good. And I'm not gonna be cheap plating this. I'll tell you that right now.
You're not gonna be skimpy.
I'm not gonna be skimpy, no sir. Look at that. All that beef, yes. This is a beautiful winter dish. Look at that beef, man. Beautiful winter dish. Alyssa, you tried this earlier. How was it?
Oh, I don't have my microphone.
She took her microphone off. She'll be giving you guys an answer
It
real
was
quick.
delicious.
Okay, so let me grab spooning because I do want that sauce. Like I said, the pasta absorbed the sauce. Add some of that in there. I added a little bit more. Make sure you go all around it.
Hey, Shane.
Clean up. Make sure you have a clean plate. And again, this is a beautiful winter dish. Go with some cheese, Parmesan cheese, all around it. And to give it some color, you add some parsley. Why not? Add some parsley to that. Okay? And that's your dish. Look at that. Tell me that doesn't look good. For the people that are not vegetarian and vegan, obviously, some vegan people will be like, I don't want that, I'm vegan. Hello. So that's that. Beautiful pasta
Yeah,
dish.
it's like my man said the other day. If you're a vegetarian, skip the beef and use chicken.
Use the
What?
pork.
Yeah,
Going back to Vietnam. Going back to
things
Vietnam.
out here every day.
Now, let me tell you guys something.
I'm vegetarian. Can I use chicken instead of beef?
Can you zoom in a little more, George?
Okay.
Can you zoom in more? So they can barely see from what I'm looking at on the screen.
This is good.
No? Oh, I don't know. I haven't come over here. Anyways, put the camera back up. Forget it. I don't know what you did there. Anyways,
Shane said that he still didn't receive his hurricane package.
that I haven't
Oh,
received
shit, that's
the
right.
standard. Really, George? That much? Really? Yeah, you see, that's perfect right there. That's perfect. Okay, so yesterday, we didn't get to tell you what type of beef we use. We didn't. Okay? Guys, before I keep going, share the video, please. Please share the video. We need your support sharing the video. So everyone here, please share the video. Anyways, going back to the beef from yesterday, when I was about to tell you guys, I don't know what happened with George. Something happened, it just, boom, it disappeared. Anyways, the beef that we used yesterday, what was it, George? Tell them.
It was grade 12 Wagyu Kobe.
Grade 12. Okay, so
Grade
we
12
bought
Wagyu Kobe.
some Wagyu, and I said, cool, you know, we're gonna make some steaks with it or whatever, and then
You know what? Let me stop you. I'm gonna be honest here, all right? We bought grade 12 Wagyu Kobe, all right?
Hold on.
And we tried to cook it as a steak, and I swear to God, it was like eating butter. There's so much fat in this meat, you can't even
I
see
love
the
it.
meat.
It's Wagyu, so I love it. So I come over here to the restaurant, and this malaca braised the whole loin, the whole strip. He braised it, and then he shredded the whole thing. So I was depressed yesterday. I don't know if you guys saw it or.
Well, what do you care? You can't eat meat anyways.
But dude, it's just the thought of it. I'm like,
All right, I say
really?
people butter, all the fat that was rendered out of it, you can.
He messed
you
up
can
the
have
whole
it.
thing. So you're talking about $900 worth of meat, and he just messed it up. He braised the whole thing. So, anyways, that's what happened with the meat
I
yesterday.
mean, it comes
I
down
was
to
here and I'm not buying it.
Robin.
She's not buying it. Fine, whatever. Anyways, easy dish. I wanted to keep it under 30 again. I just don't want people to be here for an hour because they gotta do other things. Again, this is your dish for the night. If you guys, come on, George, put the camera up,
I know,
man.
but you got to zoom out in order to
Oh,
get it up.
If you guys want to see the full video, the full recipe, I mean, you guys saw it here, but we also have this video on YouTube on the Flavor Square channel. You guys can go there. You guys can see basically the whole process in 2 minutes, I believe. I think I made a video in 2 minutes, but you can see throughout the whole thing how, you know, how everything goes. But in there, you can see the beef braised, slow cooking and whatnot. Okay. Anyways, make sure you guys follow us on Instagram, Twitter, Pinterest, Snapchat, everywhere. Share the video on Facebook. And if you guys have any questions, please hit me back. I'll be happy to, you know, take care of you guys.